everyone. Excuse me, this is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, December 28, 2024. About about 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Highly recommended that all of us focus extensively. I'm not saying obsessively, but extensively on the transition that's in full swing here on this planet. You know, you've heard people say, in different things that you read or listen to, that this is a absolutely stupendous, magna, glorious, spectacular time to be in a physical form, these physical bodies. Because it is unprecedented for the civilization to witness this massive transition on the planet. Now, obviously, we've created, as the gods that we are, all of this collectively on a large scale. Since we are part of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Doesn't necessarily mean that the majority knows this, but it is still there and always will be. You'll witness as I've said in the past, that this planet was designed to be a God planet paradise. God planet means God in body, right? God earth, paradise. And awareness, transition, ascension of knowing who and what you are goes with that. And the mastering of the ego mind, which we know is an illusion, right? The mind is an illusion that creates the ego to assist it in the illusion. And we inherit that when we come in these bodies. So we inherit the ego mind. Now we don't, as children, we don't have those things because as children, we haven't been programmed. Okay? So we're footloose, fancy free, and we're very curious, and our child curiosity is front and center, and as these bodies grow and we become more exposed to programming, and this is social structure, which is the human psyche of the planet, these things, you're programmed, okay? Whatever it may be, whatever the information is, we are all programmed. There's no exception. All of us are programmed. And we continue to be programmed. But it's quite interesting to see that more and more of us are determining and deciding and beginning to realize that after so many lifetimes of, material, physical, and experiencing this and that, I believe that the majority of the civilization will come to the full self-realization that we are gods in the body, that we're pure consciousness, and the body is our entertainment, so to speak. So we experience many things in physical material form. And it does draw us as gods because it is so phenomenal that we can feel and touch and smell and experience and all of them. I mean, it's what we experience in material physical form is, there are no words for it because it's so phenomenal that we're able to experience these things. We take it for granted, okay, because we don't have a memory of what it's like to be who and what we are, the pure consciousness, cosmic energy in these bodies, so to speak. So we can't make a comparison. We don't, oh, well, this is phenomenal. If we had that comparison, all of us would be blown away. Just to be able to touch something, pick something up, see something. It's absolutely off the charts. But since we're so conditioned and programmed, we don't we don't identify that, see, because obviously that's what happens when you have no recollection of who and what you are. So it is, in a way, a rediscovery for us. This is where it becomes kind of gray, kind of a gray area, because we have these influences in this quadrant of the galaxy and other areas, where there are those who keep us from knowing who and what we are. Now, the rediscovery process is quite interesting, because as we become more aware of who and what we are, we begin to transcend. And then we start realizing and becoming fully aware that we are pure cosmic energy, gods in these bodies, pure consciousness. And when we discover that, then we reclaim who and what we are in this universe. And then it becomes a whole different ball game, so to speak. And with us being able to stay in body longer, the chances are that we will become fully aware. And it won't take us, thousands of lifetimes. That's right there in itself absolutely immeasurable on the impact that has on our progression as gods in these bodies and for this species and this civilization. Now, when you start, you will feel the emotionality of this massive shift on this planet. And I think many are now. They don't, not yet, they don't quite comprehend what it is that's happening. Some are frightened and some are kind of getting real curious to say, well, I've never experienced this before, so let's look at it and see what it's about. Now, a lot of people will just ignore it and try to run from it and suppress it, but they won't be able to, because you're looking at the end of all conflict on this planet. You're looking at the end of us killing each other. You're looking at the end of all war, period. It won't exist. It's going to be gone. It'll be eliminated. And that transition affords, with all of the other things that will come in, that should have been here long time ago. And this isn't, like a short stint, so to speak. This is forever. And this civilization holds the flame for itself to expand, to progress, to grow into the universe and take its proper place as a universal civilization. See, a universal civilization does not create destruction, pain, sorrow, anguish. It does the opposite. And we learn massive amounts, and we experience massive amounts in this direction, rather than the one that we have been in for a very long time, in fact, from the beginning. So it's a complete shift, so to speak, into an entirely different realm of existence. And we hear, you'll still hear the talk about, the flash, right? The big flash. Well, it'll do everything for you, and it'll change your DNA, and it'll do this and do that, and it'll just be big light flash, and everything's fixed, so to speak. If that were to happen, the bodies and these people would absolutely explode, because the emotionality of it. See, these are very emotional vessels we're in. And no one seems to talk about that. So you just have this big flash, and you got your DNA shifted and changed, everything's hunky-dory and wonderful and everybody understands everything. But the element of emotionality is massive. So we're the flash. You are. You're the light. You don't follow the light. You are the light. And you determine, as the God that you are in that body, what direction you desire to take. See, it's got to be this way because it's part of our experience. And we decide when we want our DNA structuring to change. We decide. It isn't done for us. How are you going to experience anything if it's actually done for you? You aren't. Okay? A lot is lost in that process. That's why a lot of it's just bicameral, basically. Something from the outside that's going to affect you. It's going to do it all for you. And we all know that we've followed that direction many times throughout existence, and it really, okay, we know. We've experienced it. So our direction is to focus more so on this magnificent transition of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, Sophia, whatever name you choose. And it's going to be a kind of like an epiphany. I mean, I would go as far as saying some will have a samadhi or a kundalini of the God energy within the body, flowing and feeling it. A deep peace, a deep relaxation, a calmness that isn't just going to be there shortly and then dissipate. It's what we are that's surfacing. It's the true gods in these bodies that will be surfacing, that we will be experiencing through these emotional vessels. And it is, people say, well, one might say that, well, how come it's taken so long? Why have we, so many lifetimes and all the things that we have experienced, which is a lot, which is wonderful, that we have had the opportunity to experience so much, and that we know the difference between good and bad, for the most part, right? We know the difference between killing and growing. We know those differences. We've learned them, which is phenomenal. You take a civilization, you throw it into a ascension like this, and there's no variance. You can't compare anything, which is really dangerous. See, we have been literally honed through many, many millennia for this time. Every one of us, whether we are aware of it or not, the God in the body, this period of time was selected for this transition, and a huge awakening of truth, of root existence, culminating to, imagine your consciousness is assisting, universe is assisting, for you to be able to ascertain, to differentiate of exactly who and what you are and what this is all about. And there's a lot of those who, throughout the ages, have pursued this to discover what all this is about. Many through the years. Did they get it? Partially. We create our existence. We create our experience, our exposures. We create it. Doesn't it make sense? Now, the missing element is that we don't know we're creating it in a lot of cases. That is going to shift as well. We will know that we're creating things. We will also know why, okay? It is because we want to experience certain areas, and we also will not divulge to ourselves the entire experience because we want to learn, want to experience. If you knew every single step of the way of what you were creating for you to experience, it would be cool at first, yes. And it would take a bit, and then after a while, all of us would become bored to tears. I know it's going to happen. I'm creating this to experience it, and this, and this. So the reason that some of it is not known by any of us is because of that spice, that unknowing, that it surprises us in this life. You say, wow, I didn't know that was coming in. You see what I mean? Even though we have these situations that we say to ourselves, wow, I don't really care to experience this ever again, right? Well, you won't, but you'll experience similar things along the way. And this is how we learn. We create basically our own school, and everything's been designed this way. See? Everything's been designed. Even those who control the aspects of this quadrant of the galaxy. And it's not so much control, it emanates from the gods that we are. We are the one. Okay? We are the God. We are the kingdom of God. We are the heaven. We were taught for so long that all of that was wishful thinking. That's not how it is. Okay? Everything is outside of you. Right? Now, some of the religions, the old ones in the East, they will come in, how do you put it? That there is, like, for instance, Jesus knew that he was the God. Okay? Some of the depictions that people were given of what he was doing were shifted. Okay? Like when he went in the Garden of Gethsemane and he was there and he was on the stone and he was praying, looking up into the sky, Father, they know not what they do, right? That was shifted quite a bit because he knew that the Father was within him, the God. The kingdom of God was within him. In other words, like we talk about now, we are the kingdom of God, each and every single one of us. We are the heaven. Wherever we go, we are heaven. See, we come onto this planet in these bodies. Okay? The body basically, for all intents and purposes, is the earth. But the God is the heaven. Heaven on earth. That's how it was meant to be displayed and communicated. But you can see how it was changed extensively. In other words, for us to worship something outside of ourselves to misguide and misdirect us. And that's been done very well throughout the ages because of imagine just all the different beliefs, all the different belief systems, mechanisms that we've been programmed with. Thousands of religions. And someone, one says, I don't like this religion, I'm going to start my own. And then some followers follow them. And then on and on and on. I don't like this religion, I want them, and it's going to go over here like over this way. Which, the diversity of the civilization is huge. The challenge is that in unity, to be aware that we are literally, the gods that we are, all one. Different aspects and facets of the God, but we're one. Okay? It's like I use the analogy of the golden drop of the golden ocean, and the golden drop holds the essence of the golden ocean. So when the drop goes into the golden ocean, it becomes the golden ocean. Now the mind, most likely not has a difficult time comprehending that because it's so small of a vessel. So in actuality, this transition of this planet is due to the collective consciousness, the God, okay, changing it, shifting it. Because we've had just countless existences as a whole. So these countless of existences, now we have shifted into the ascension of what? Love, light, energy, and frequency, peace, tranquility, benevolence, self-knowing awareness of exactly who and what we are in these bodies, the mastership of the ego mind, knowing it's an illusion. You can see how that transition takes place. How is it guided? It's guided by all of us gods, as one. You imagine the power of billions, just this planet, just us, gods in these bodies. And all of the learning avenues, all of the experiencing that in this very now moment, that all of us are given. Now you take all of that, all of those experiences, and all of those life challenges. This is how we're able to create universes. This is how we're able to create star systems. Because we, collectively, this is what we do. So one might say, well, look at this little planet here on the outer rim of the Milky Way galaxy. So you have a transition. It happens throughout the universes. So you have a species, and you have the godlight energy enters these physical forms and then experiences them. Now imagine if none of us ever entered physical form. It'd be a whole different ballgame. Would there be, let's say, life on these other planets, systems? Most likely not. Because the physical vessels are created by the God so that the gods can experience them. And those lives, wherever they may be, Pleiadian life is different than your life. They're in different planets. Just like we're on this planet, they're on their planet. So it's no different. They experience differently, but similarly in some areas. The same with the Arcturians and Andromedans and all of them, even the cantankerous civilizations. There's not many of those. But all of these are inhabited by godlight energy. So one might say, well, even the ones that are kind of distasteful, yeah. Even the corrupted souls, well, yeah. The whole ball of wax. So there's no separation. Remember, separation is the illusion that is created so that we feel in physical form that each of us is having a different life than another. See, and in actuality, that's what, in a way, we're doing that. Every one of us on this planet are experiencing differently. Okay, we do identify with one another if we have something in similarity. Okay, so you might be having a conversation with another being, and they say, "Well, yeah, I was experiencing this and this." And then you chime in and say, wow, I experienced something similar to that. It's fascinating, isn't it? When you really look at it with childlike curiosity, every moment that we're in, we're experiencing. And then we have this thing we call the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind records everything. It's a recorder, and it records everything. And it plays it back to us randomly. There's no real specific structure. It just plays it back. Do you realize that everything that we do or experience in these bodies is recorded by our subconscious mind? Which is wild. One might say, well, how do you know that? It's a fact. And then, of course, you know, we call it the humanity or the species. You know, adds other stuff. Id, super ego, ego, super this, that. But all in all, we have an ego mind that challenges us every day to experience it and then master it. We're bombarded with thousands of thoughts every day that aren't ours, and they're there for one reason, so that we can master our thoughts. You see how that works? All of us. You think that Buddha, another enlightened one, we're all enlightened, it's just that, you know, Buddha discovers it, Siddhartha, and Jesus discovers it, and others have. That, you know, I've always been enlightened. I discovered the enlightenment within me through the God that I am within me. So what are we focusing on? Where's our attention being placed? The exuberating feeling and experience ahead of us of peace, prosperity, abundance. This isn't now, the ego mind for some will say, oh, that's nonsense. It's doom and gloom and destruction and pain and sorrow and anguish like it's always been. Which it isn't now. It's already shifted. And the planetary population is going to experience phenomenal things. And for us to focus on how we, as the gods in these bodies, along with the body, what we want to experience, right? A peaceful planet, first time ever. Seriously, in 60 billion years, first time ever. Peaceful planet. No conflict. At ease, not in stress. At ease. Why? Because we will know who and what we are. Big, big difference. Joy and happiness, not sorrow and sadness. Because, gosh, look at, we've had that for millions of years, billions of years, and in some cases, trillions of years. And when you don't you think or feel that it's time that we move on? And this is what we're doing. And we're doing it collectively. What about the ones that just aren't awake? And they'll wake in their time. That's not our concern. Our direction is whoever of us decides for ourselves to expand and explore within us, to discover who and what we are and master the ego mind and our thoughts, will do so. Those that don't, won't now, but they'll eventually get it. So the direction of focusing on peace, prosperity, abundance for oneself and all around you. And see it, feel it. Feel it most importantly. Feel it in your heart center. Because this transition is in full swing. And you haven't seen anything yet. And I mean that in a super powerful, positive, uplifting way. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close this out.
Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain relaxed into your body. Focus on your breath rising and falling. Listen closer to the music. Sometimes you stop listening to the music and all you hear is this unsatisfactory noise of thoughts in your head. You see how your unhappiness is created by what you are listening to? Who's listening to? What does it take to hear the angelic frequency coming from your heart? How to listen closer to this lightness? Start by paying attention to who and what is listening to you. Be open and receptive to receive all your truth. What do you believe the main message is that life wants you to hear? Remember, you're making this all up anyway. How does it feel knowing that? So I must ask you again, who's listening? Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We'll return here Sunday, December 29, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. And a side note, it's about 3 days of this opportunity are left. If you go to our product page on weareonelightforall.net, the link is there for this phenomenal deal at Natural Action Technologies for their shower unit. And then you get a free, which is like, I don't know, $200-300 item. You get it free, which is a handheld portable structured water unit, which is a phenomenal deal. So they have 3 days left. So go to our products page and you get 20% off the shower head unit. And then you get the free portable structured water unit on top of that. Yeah, it's stainless steel shower head. I have one. So anyway, just go to our products page at weareonelightforall.net, and the link's right there. Click on it, it'll take you there. I had to get that in there because it's really good deal. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what is happening around you or within you, open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.